All right, time again for a full check on weather with Chief Meteorologist Sarah Knox. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Cami, it is beautiful out there this evening, feeling very good. Not too strong of a breeze, but enough to move the air around for the areas that are a little warmer than others. Most of us in the mid to upper 70s as we speak. I want to show off Mason City getting into the 80s today and showing a lovely sky. We can see the sun setting, and eventually this will be lit up with a lot of color, I should say. Some color, a lot of color. Still seeing a little bit of the haze on the horizon, though. There are some thin clouds to note, and also still dealing with some of that wildfire smoke. Once again, it is a little higher up in the atmosphere, so here on the surface, things are just fine air quality wise. Oh no, I forgot to push the play button. So here is that live look over Mason City, and we will play it forward. I have to walk off screen for that. Sorry, everyone. There we go. All right, moving over to satellite and radar now, and as we can see, not much going on when we do the top-down view. I mentioned a few of the thin clouds. They can be seen. They're just ultimately going to keep moving on. High pressure has built up over a good portion of the country, slowly making its way to the east. That's going to allow for a little activity come our way, and with that comes a small chance for some rain before high pressure then dominates as we head into the weekend. That's what's going to help push these temperatures up. It is currently 74 degrees in Rochester, where I mentioned Mason City made it into the 80s, now sitting at 79. Same with Forest City. A step out of the way here, Preston a little cooler. Same with Dodge Center, sitting at 73. Those temperatures are still very comfortable. Mix it with the dew points, which are a little higher than normal. They're back into the 60s for many of us. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's that sticky outside, but enough that you might notice a little of the humidity. A lot of that continues to come our way. It helps to bring in those slight rain chances we may see through our Friday. There's also a sign that temperatures are on the rise, as well as the fact that we are still here in astronomical summer. First day of fall does not start until September 22nd. So just wanted to show that off. Then we can start talking about some of the more cool holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and ultimately Christmas when the time comes. Not on the calendar quite yet. Quick look at futurecast. Not much to see into the evening. I fast forward all the way to about midnight. If you're worried about any of the fog building back in, there's a chance for it. However, it's looking to stay a little warmer than we did last night, and therefore a little further away from those dew points. We may not see as much of the fog development, but it'll be something worth watching as we do get into the morning hours. Otherwise, I mentioned the chance for a few sprinkles of rain as we do get into the afternoon. That is really the biggest threat as we head into Friday. Then as we head into the weekend, the threat changes to more of a heat threat. Saturday was our peak, but now it's looking like Sunday is going to bring the real heat as temperatures near the 90-degree mark. Add in the dew points, and we could have real feels back in the 90s. So Cami, summer is not done with us yet. There are more 80s on this 7-day than there are anything else.